Welcome back to Motor Future. The 2025 Honda XR650L. Few motorcycles have earned the kind of rugged reputation this one has. It's a name synonymous with reliability, go-anywhere versatility, and old-school simplicity. But in an age of high-tech adventure bikes and futuristic dual sports, is there still room for a bike that hasn't changed much in decades? Well, if you ask Honda or the thousands of riders who still swear by it, the answer is a resounding yes. Today on Motor Future, we're diving deep into the 2025 XR650L to see what keeps this machine relevant after all these years. At first glance, the 2025 XR650L looks nearly identical to its predecessors, and that's not a bad thing. Honda hasn't tried to reinvent the wheel with this model. Instead, they've stuck to a proven formula, a rugged, high-riding dual sport that's as comfortable on mountain trails as it is on city streets. If you're a fan of the classic enduro aesthetic, tall stance, narrow profile, and minimal bodywork, you'll appreciate what this bike is about. Underneath that familiar frame lies a time-tested air-cooled 644 cubic centimeters single-cylinder engine. Yes, you heard that right, air-cooled. In a world filled with liquid-cooled, ride-by-wire bikes with multiple riding modes and TFT displays, the XR650L's simplicity is almost rebellious. This engine may not break any speed records, but what it lacks in high-end power, it more than makes up for in brute torque and durability. The 2025 model still delivers a healthy mid-range punch, perfect for powering through dirt trails or maneuvering through traffic with confidence. It puts out around 40 horsepower and over 47 Nm of torque. Now, that might not seem like a lot on paper, but real-world riding tells a different story. The torque comes in low and steady, allowing for confident crawling over rough terrain or climbing steep inclines without needing to hammer the throttle. Paired with a 5-speed transmission, shifting is smooth and predictable. You won't find any quick shifters or slipper clutches here, just a reliable gearbox that gets the job done. And that's the XR650L in a nutshell. It's not fancy, but it works, and it works for a long time. Suspension is another area where the XR650L shines. Up front, you've got a 43mm air-adjustable fork with nearly 11 inches of travel. At the rear, the ProLink suspension gives you 11 inches of movement with a fully adjustable Showa shock. Whether you're hopping over rocks, cruising gravel roads, or tackling deep ruts, the bike handles it with surprising ease. Its long-travel suspension and 21-inch front will offer impressive off-road capability, while the 18-inch rear helps maintain traction on loose surfaces. On the road, things are a bit more basic. It's not built for high-speed highway cruising, and at higher RPMs, the single-cylinder buzz becomes noticeable. But if your riding is a mix of city commuting, backcountry exploration, and everything in between, the XR650L hits a sweet spot. It's not about refinement, it's about reliability and confidence on unpredictable terrain. As for the design, Honda's kept it classic: high front fender, long flat seat, minimal fairings, and that unmistakable red and white color scheme. It's bold, instantly recognizable, and built with function in mind. You get a steel frame that's tough enough to handle years of abuse, and the bike still tips the scale at around 346 pounds wet, not featherlight, but manageable for most riders. Ergonomics are upright and neutral. The seat is tall, really tall, at 37 inches. So unless you're on the taller side or have long legs, you might find yourself tiptoeing at stops. But that extra height translates into unbeatable ground clearance off-road, and that's where this bike thrives. Braking comes from a single disc setup front and rear. Again, no ABS, no cornering sensors, just basic, effective stopping power. For off-road riders, the lack of ABS is often preferred, as it allows for more precise brake modulation on dirt and gravel. Fuel capacity sits at 2.8 gallons, which translates into a decent range thanks to the bike's fuel-sipping nature. You can expect around 45 to 50 miles per gallon, giving you a comfortable 130 to 140 miles before needing a top-up. Long-distance travelers may opt for an aftermarket tank, but for most dual-sport adventures, this setup gets the job done. The digital instrumentation is about as simple as they come: speedometer, odometer, trip meter, and basic indicator lights. There are no TFT displays, no Bluetooth connectivity, and no app integration. This is a bike built for riders who want less tech and more terrain. So why, in 2025, does this bike still matter? because it fills a niche that few others do. It's the kind of bike that doesn't need updates to be great. Riders don't buy the XR650L for cutting-edge innovation, they buy it for reliability, serviceability, and timeless utility. It's also incredibly mod-friendly. Want to upgrade the suspension? Bolt on some aftermarket parts. Need more storage or a larger tank for adventure riding? No problem. There's a huge aftermarket scene that supports this bike, and plenty of riders turn it into lightweight adventure machines or full-on dirt beasts. And let's talk about price. The 2025 Honda XR650L comes in at around $7,099. For what you're getting, a proven platform, low maintenance, off-road chops, and decades of rider trust, it's hard to argue with that value. It's not cheap, but it's a long-term investment that pays off in reliability and versatility. At the end of the day, the XR650L isn't trying to be something it's not. It's not the flashiest bike on the block. It doesn't come with an arsenal of electronics or fancy riding aids. But it does come with a reputation for getting you where you want to go, whether that's down a mountain trail, through a desert, or across town, without breaking down or breaking the bank. It's one of the last remaining truly old-school dual sports in a market moving toward complexity. That alone makes it special. If you're a beginner looking for a trustworthy dual sport, an experienced rider who loves to tinker, or someone who values simplicity and durability over bells and whistles, the 2025 Honda XR650L is still one of the best options out there. That's it for today's deep dive on the XR650L. Let us know in the comments, would you choose this bike in 2025, or do you prefer something more modern and tech-packed? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more reviews, news, and updates here on Motor Future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next ride.